In the middle of the United States, far from any major city or famous landmark, there was a town called Hollow Creek. Hollow Creek wasn't known for its museums, festivals, or nightlife, mostly because it didn't have any. It had one supermarket, one gas station, one library where the biggest drama was overdue books, a post office that closed at 4 p.m. sharp, and a pond where ducks moved so slowly it seemed they were saving energy. Everything in Hollow Creek was calm, predictable, and steady, and perfect for a man like Walter Klein. Walter Klein, age 61, lived in a single-story house with beige siding and a brown door that squeaked exactly the same way every morning. He woke up at 6:18 a.m., always 6:18. His alarm clock was one of those old digital ones with green numbers that glowed in the dark. It beeped 3 times. Beep, beep, beep. Walter sat up slowly, stretched his arms slowly, and placed his feet on the floor slowly. Nothing he did in life was rushed. He wore the same outfit every morning. Light gray pants, a pale blue shirt, brown socks, and slippers that made a soft flip-flop sound on the hallway floor. In the kitchen, Walter prepared breakfast, exactly the same meal he had eaten for the last 13 years. 1 bowl of cereal, 1 cup of milk, 1 slice of toast, and half a grapefruit. While eating, he stared out the window at the same exact scene. A quiet street, 2 mailboxes, a tree that lost leaves in autumn and grew them back in spring. Sometimes a bird landed on the tree. Sometimes it didn't. Those were the only 2 possibilities. At 7:04 a.m., Walter left the house. He locked the door with 2 clicks. Click, click. He walked to his car, a 10-year-old tan sedan that looked like every other car in town. The engine made a soft hum when he started it. The drive to work was 8 minutes long. Walter passed the same landmarks every day. A stop sign that no one ever ignored. A bakery that smelled faintly of bread but was never crowded. A barber shop with a spinning red and white pole. A field with 3 cows who always stood quietly. Sometimes Walter turned on the radio, but usually he preferred silence. He liked the predictability of the road, the steady rhythm of the traffic lights, and the fact that nothing unexpected ever happened. Walter worked at the Hollow Creek County Records Office, a place where excitement went to die peacefully. The office handled paperwork like property records, old maps, birth certificates, permits no one needed urgently. Walter's desk was in the back corner, where the lighting was soft and the temperature was always slightly cool. Every day, his tasks were the same. 1. Check the inbox. 2. File the documents. 3. Stamp the papers. 4. Place them in alphabetical order. 5. Repeat. Beep, beep, beep. Walter's co-worker, Linda, sat at the desk next to him. Their conversations were extremely predictable. "Morning, Walter," she said. "Morning, Linda," Walter replied. "What's the weather today?" she asked. "Partly cloudy," he answered. Every single day. Sometimes, if things became truly wild, Linda would say, "Looks like rain later," and Walter would reply, "Possibly." They never talked about anything dramatic. They never gossiped. They never argued. It was a workplace made of silence, papers, and the soft, scratching sound of pens. At 12 o'clock p.m., Walter stood up from his chair, stretched his back slowly, and walked to the break room. Lunch was always the same. Turkey sandwich, apple slices, a bottle of water, one small cookie, oatmeal flavor. He sat at the same table, in the same chair, facing the same wall, with the same poster about fire safety. Sometimes he read the newspaper. The newspaper was rarely exciting. Headlines like, "Local park adds second trash can," "New stoplight installed on Elm Road, library hosting quiet reading hour." Quiet reading hour was always full, because everything in Hollow Creek was already quiet. Walter preferred it that way. After lunch, Walter returned to his desk. The afternoon routine was exactly like the morning one, except with slightly more yawning. He stapled papers, rearranged files, organized drawers, typed slowly, and looked at the clock every hour. But one thing Walter never did was rush. He believed rushing created mistakes. He also believed he had nothing to rush for, which helped. Sometimes, a citizen came into the office asking for a copy of an old record. Walter would smile politely, walk to the appropriate drawer, pull out the folder, and hand it over. No drama, no confusion, just quiet, peaceful monotony. Walter drove home at 4:58 p.m. Once inside, he hung his keys on the hook that said keys. He changed into comfortable pants, gray ones, because all his pants were gray. Dinner was always simple: steamed vegetables, baked potato, lightly seasoned chicken, a glass of lukewarm water. He sat at his small dining table, listening to the soft buzzing of the overhead light. After dinner, Walter enjoyed his favorite activity, watching the sky change color. Not a sunset, not clouds, just the sky slowly shifting from light blue to darker blue. Sometimes he saw one star, sometimes two, but usually one. He never missed this moment. Then he washed his dishes, wiped the counter, swept the floor, and sat on his couch to read a book. Not an exciting book, but something slow and comfortable. Titles like A Beginner's Guide to Lawn Maintenance, Understanding Simple Accounting, American Fences, A Historical Review. His favorite was the fence book. At 9:45 p.m., Walter brushed his teeth for 2 minutes, folded his clothes neatly, and went to bed. He fell asleep quickly because nothing kept him awake. Pause. Weekends were slightly different, but still not exciting. Saturday, chores, laundry at 8 a.m., grocery store at 10 a.m., cleaning the living room at noon, reading in the afternoon, a nap at 3 p.m. The most exciting moment was choosing which laundry detergent to buy. Walter always chose the unscented one. Sunday, almost exactly the same. Raking leaves, washing the car, organizing the garage, watching a documentary about insects. Nothing unexpected ever happened. No visitors, no adventures, just calm and order. One Wednesday, something almost unusual happened. Walter bought a new notebook. It had green lines instead of blue. He stared at it for a moment, unsure if this was too bold, but he bought it anyway. When he placed it on his desk at home, he felt a tiny spark of excitement. Just a spark, nothing too dramatic. This was the most surprising thing that had happened to him in years. Walter Klein did not travel. He did not seek adventures. He did not change his routine. He liked quiet mornings, predictable afternoons, calm evenings, unchanging weekends. Some people looked for excitement. Walter looked for comfort. And in the gentle, sleepy town of Hollow Creek, he found exactly the life he wanted. A peaceful, perfectly boring life where nothing ever changed. And that was enough.